Good morning. It's August 25th. We've just finished our 7th day of school. It seems kind of appropriate to have Dr. McGee and myself in front of all of you with a short video, an update regarding the Little Rock School District. First, I think Dr. McGee, you did a really good job at our board meeting last week of, at the end of it, highlighting the great efforts that's been made by our overall community to have a good start to the school year.
Yes, I thought all of our school district leaders, building leaders, all of the capacity at every school site did an excellent job opening up schools and ensuring that everybody was safe and secure, everybody was visible. We just had a very good week last week, and I wanted them to know that we didn't go unnoticed. We saw that work and we saw their efforts, and we just want to say thank you.
And of course, you obviously think of teachers, and that's huge. They're our number one thing that makes life good for kids, parents, and even administrators. But we also want to thank our classified employees, our bus drivers, our child nutrition folks, and of course our administrators that made that all happen. We wanted to target initially a little bit about safety and how we need to tighten a couple things to make sure we're on the right track. Yesterday, Dr. McGee met with his Ready for Learn team. If you go look at our plan, we've already said that we're going to follow the Department of Health guidelines regarding masks.
That is correct. The Department of Health and the Arkansas Division of Elementary and Secondary Education, better known as the state, they worked in collaboration to put their plan, their Ready for Learning plan back together that gave guidance to all the school districts. So we said that initially that we're going to follow that guidance with Arkansas Department of Health.
And the bottom line for guidance is that if you have mask and you're wearing it all the time, you're wearing it appropriately, then that means that as a student or a staff person, you don't necessarily need to be quarantined.
That is correct. We want to make sure that we understand. We want you to wear the mask consistently and correctly. I would charge everybody to go back in our Ready for Learning plan, look up under the guidance where it talks about masks. There's a guidance protocol that click on that link that show everyone how to consistently and correctly wear the mask.
So that's critical, and our point of contact team will use that to help trace, to make sure that we are safe in our school environments. Right along with that, I'm going to make an announcement today to our schools and our community that I'm going to ask our principals to develop a plan to do open houses virtually. And Dr. McGee will work with the leaders to make sure that we are able to really connect with you all, but we are going to move to a virtual delivery for open houses. We also know that as parents, you want to be engaged with your child in all sorts of ways, but we have kind of gotten away a little bit from our Ready for Learn plan. Our Ready for Learn plan is very intentional about when parents can visit, and really there's a very specific purpose for when parents can come to the school.
Yes, and we call it essential school business. Essential school business, we ask that the building principals and their staff and their leaders determine how that benefit those children. We do not want to totally cut off any type of support, but we're asking parents and our community just to say essential school business only.
Really that ties back into then the educational purposes of coming in to be a part of maybe discussions about their child. But if you're just bringing up a lunch and trying to come in and have lunch with the child, that's what we got to get away from.
That's correct.
And we've got that happening in several of our campuses. Next, we also know that this week, when we get to the end of this week, it'll have been 10 days. That's kind of a big deal in the state, and we've not necessarily been used to it, but at the end of the 10-day mark, we have an obligation by law to drop students that haven't shown up.
That is correct. Last year was a different year. Last year we was up under the state of emergency. We therefore had a lot of waivers. This year we don't have those waivers, so we have to follow the law. So we charge all of our school buildings and all of our district staff to reach out to all of those parents who have not checked in. So it's very important, parents, that you check in by Friday, August the 27th.
And that check-in, we need your help. You all have connections and people. If someone's saying, my child hasn't gone, even if they think that they have gone on to the virtual school, they need to check in with their principal. They need to make sure they check in with their teacher. If there's any questions, go to the administrator at your site and they'll help lead through it. That leads to a very important point with our Ignite program, because we are evaluating. We know that has been an explosion of new numbers that wanted to be a part of Ignite, and we are trying to take care of that. At the secondary level, I think that we feel like we really have got almost everybody ready to be served by the end of this week.
Yeah, that is correct. Secondary is a little bit different, so we was able to, we think we got all of that kind of resolved, and so the biggest challenge for us right now is elementary.
And the elementary is a K-6 delivery, and one of the things, again, goes back into this 10-day thing. We want to really make sure our numbers are right, but we also want to make sure that we're prepared that if the numbers stay high, that we've got to staff with real teachers, and Dr. McGee will come forward with a proposal to our board on Thursday of how we staff that, so that if we need to, we have a different element of bringing in support, so that there would be real teachers with kids in a virtual setting, but would be a contracted service. Because if everybody shows up, we're still short. But we've got to really massage our numbers as a whole district, and we will be able to do that before the end of the week. Final thing is, we know that transportation has been a challenge as we've started the school year. We're not unlike most districts across the country. There are work shortages that are taking place. We are in need of almost 20 drivers in combination of First Student and LRSD transportation. Let me tell you what we're doing. With First Student, you can get a $2,500 bonus for becoming one of our drivers with First Student. They will actually pay you during your training, and you could earn at a starting salary of at least $18 an hour, which we believe is one of the most attractive compensation packages for transportation in Central Arkansas. So we're going to try to fill that need. We're working on it actively, and of course then trying to make sure our bus delivery times and everything just becomes smoother. All this being said, we've had a good start to the school year. We want to get better, okay, each and every day. We don't want to take anything into account where we are not serving kids and that we are making sure that students are advancing in their skills. I know that you and your team believe that down to your core.
That is correct, we do, and we're just here. We want the schools to know, it's our parents and our community, that we are here to support them.
If you run into a problem, obviously get a hold of your school administrator.
Correct.
If you can't, make sure you just send an email to Dr. McGee or myself. We will tackle that as quickly as we can. Thank you so much for your attention today.
Thank you.